Today I'm going to show you how to make a scrolling timeline animation in CapCut PC step by step, even if you're a complete beginner. This is a really clean effect for history videos, story edits, event timelines, business milestones, and any content where you want dates or years to move smoothly up the screen. And the best part is, once you build it once, you can reuse it over and over again in future projects. If this tutorial helps you, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe for more CapCut tips, and let's jump straight into it. First, open CapCut PC and create a new project. Before you start building the animation, it helps to add a solid background or a simple video layer to your timeline because that gives you a clean workspace and makes the scrolling text easier to see. Once your timeline is ready, go to the top left menu and click Text, then choose Default Text and drag it down onto your timeline track. This is going to be the main layer for your scrolling dates or years. Now, click into the text box on the right-hand side and type out your timeline list. You can use years, dates, events, or milestones depending on your project. The most important part here is formatting. Press Enter after every single year or date so that each one appears on its own line. You want the text to look like one tall vertical column because that is what gives the scrolling timeline effect. If everything is on one line, the animation won't look right, so make sure each item is stacked neatly one below the other. After that, choose a font that is clean, bold, and easy to read. Since this is a timeline animation, clarity matters a lot. Increase the text size until it is highly visible and fills the center of the frame properly. You can also adjust spacing if needed so the list looks balanced and professional. At this stage, your goal is to make the text block tall enough to scroll through smoothly while still being readable on screen. Now, it's time to animate the movement. Move your playback cursor to the very first frame of your text clip. This is where the animation will begin. In the preview window, drag the text block until your starting timeline date is perfectly centered where you want the viewer's focus to begin. Once it is in the right position, go to the right-hand panel, open video, then basic, and look for position. Click the diamond icon to set your first keyframe. That locks in the starting coordinates for the animation. Next, move your playback cursor a few seconds forward on the timeline. This will determine how long the scroll takes. A longer duration creates a slower, more cinematic movement, while a shorter duration makes it feel faster and more energetic. Now go back to the preview screen and drag the text layer upward until your final target date or final point of the timeline is centered exactly where you want it. CapCut will automatically generate the second position keyframe for you. That means the app now knows where the animation starts and where it ends. At this point, if you play it back, you'll already see the scrolling effect working. But to make it look much smoother and more polished, you need to add easing. Right-click the text layer in your editing track and select Show Keyframe Animation or Show Variable Speed Animation depending on your CapCut version. Then expand the Y-axis coordinate section so you can control the vertical movement more precisely. Click the Graphs button and then adjust the motion curve by right-clicking your keyframe points. You can apply a preset like Cubic Out, Quad Out, or Circular Ease. This is what makes the motion feel natural instead of robotic. Without easing, the text would move at a constant speed and stop abruptly, which can look a little harsh. But with a smooth curve, the timeline glides into place and creates a much more cinematic finish. This is especially useful if you're making documentary-style edits, storytelling videos, or informational reels where the animation needs to feel professional. Once you're happy with the motion, right-click the text layer again and choose Create Compound Clip. This is a smart step because it locks the animation package together and keeps everything organized. If you ever need to move or duplicate the effect later, the compound clip makes that much easier. It also helps prevent accidental edits to the keyframes while you continue working on the project. Now for the final polish step, which is the mask. Select your new compound clip on the track lane, then go to the right-hand property menu and open Video, then Mask. Choose the rectangle mask shape. After that, crop and drag the rectangle boundaries so they sit tightly around your center line zone. The goal is to hide the extra text above and below the visible area so only one timeline year or date shows on screen at a time as it moves. This is the step that really makes the effect look clean and intentional. Instead of seeing the whole tall text column, the viewer only sees the part inside the masked window, which creates that modern scrolling timeline look. To make the transition even smoother, turn up the feather slider slightly, around 10 to 15. That softens the edges and helps blur the top and bottom entry points so the movement doesn't look too sharp or harsh. And that's it. You've now made a scrolling timeline animation in CapCut PC from start to finish. You created the vertical text list, animated it with keyframes, smoothed the movement with easing curves, and used a mask to turn it into a clean timeline reveal. Once you understand this technique, you can use it for years, dates, milestones, achievements, business growth charts, historical summaries, and so much more. If this tutorial helped you, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel for more CapCut tutorials, and leave a comment if you want more step-by-step editing guides like this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.